I'm not sure how many people I'm gonna have on this live. I have already stated that my videos were not gonna be like they were before. I'm going to incorporate this subject into my life going forward as a single black woman because um, there's a lot to being a single black woman and a black woman, period, living in America right now in 2018. And one of the things that some of us have to worry about are or is not sure which thing I should actually use, but one of the things are um, or is cultural appropriation. Now, when it comes to appropriation, it's very hard for black women to actually appropriate, um, let's say, for for argument's sake or for comparison's sake. It's very, very hard for women of color to appropriate white culture because we're not white. We are visibly not white. So there's nothing that we could fake. We can't put on a wig and pass ourselves off as white. We could lighten our skin, but our features will tell you that we are actually black. And sometimes a lot of people can, a lot of some black women have actually tried by getting, like whatever Black China's doing right now, selling skin bleaching cream. Skin bleaching cream does not work in bleaching the skin all at once for everybody. So you could tell. Like I know darker skinned women who have tried the bleaching cream and they're my complexion, and and you can tell because they only use it on their face and part of their neck. You can tell that they're only changing color here. So we cannot pass for white. I don't care how hard we try. We cannot pass for white. Um, there have been comedians who have, but those are comedians. They are completely different than someone like me who's a normal person. I don't have anything to prove other than, okay, I need to get into this before I do anything else. Okay, cultural appropriation. The one thing that I wanted to address was to Lauren Chen. I watched a video of hers called "Hands Off My Culture." I put it down in the video description, and basically she went down the line of things that are basically okay or cultures that are okay to mimic, like during Halloween and then she kind of went into dangerous waters when she started talking about uh, how she disagreed with the impact of Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian adopting um, cornrows or braids. She didn't say cornrows, she said braids. And basically saying that it's a farce or a lie that when black women wear their hair in braids, that they're not frowned upon. She doesn't believe that we're frowned on when we wear our hair in braids. Um, and she doesn't believe that white women who wear, dang it, that white women who wear braids are looked at as more beautiful or praised for it. I am doing this video for a couple of reasons. Like I said at the top, I am getting to know who I am right now. I'm a single woman. I've been divorced for 8 years almost, and come I guess 2019 in September it'll be 8 years. But seven and some change, and I'm just trying to figure out who I am. But during my process, I've actually come to a couple of realizations. Didn't have to work a whole lot when I was married because my daughters, I have two daughters who were disabled, so I had to be home all the time. And once me and their dad got separated, I needed to go and look for work. I needed to leave them with him, and this is what a lot of you already know about me. I needed to leave them with him, so that I could go and find myself and find work and everything, and then I would get them back later on, and it would turn out to be much later, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and the one thing that I found that I had a problem with because I was natural then, just like I am natural now, is that um, people are less likely to hire you if you are a black woman coming in with braids, or if you're a black woman coming in with your natural hair and it's wavy and it's in what they think it's unkempt. But if it's someone like if it's a white woman and she has a nice braided pattern and she has it in a nice bun or whatever, she's looked at as exotic and beautiful. But that style did not belong to her. She appropriated it and then basically called it something that belongs to her. She probably wouldn't have um, given the credit to the people that it belonged to before she put it on her own head. Now, I think that in um, cultural appropriation is great when it's done respectfully. It's disrespectful when you rename the whole thing. I was watching. So I like having all of my I like to have all my stuff written down so that I can address people properly. Everybody Hates Angel is the channel, and this brother was basically giving Lauren Chen and other people um, the rundown of what uh, I guess his video is called Cultural Appropriation Explained. And he explained there that appropriation, I think I should go into appreciation too, but cultural appropriation is good when you're being respectful about it. If you're a white person, and I know that you, Lauren, if you're watching, I really hope you are. But Lauren, you said that you are. Now I'm gonna kind of go left for a second because I wouldn't have thought you were Asian. You look white to me, so maybe you're biracial, but you hey, there are other kinds of Asian. There are people who are in the Middle East who are Asian, so I don't want to get that wrong or come off disrespectful, but I have a problem with anybody who is, say, for instance, calling themselves or calling a braided pattern like when we do our braids. I braid hair, so I'm going to be using terms that you probably never heard of before. um, Cornrows, those are the braids that Kim Kardashian and her sister were wearing, and they called them boxer braids. Boxer braids, come on now. That is not what they're called for real. They are called cornrows. I have done I've done braids on my daughter's hair. I've got 5 daughters. All of them have had individuals. Those are braids that are braided extensions onto their natural hair, and I would actually braid it all the way down, and they would go here. Sometimes it will go up there, but they are individuals. Protective styles. If you didn't know any of that, if you didn't know that we have different braid patterns, Bantu knots. Bantu knots are used for styling purposes, and some black women love to wear them like they are. I have a daughter that wears bantu knots, and when she wants to get up and to make her hair look curlier, she puts her hair in bantu knots overnight. She puts her hair in bantu knots overnight, and she puts a silk scarf over it. And when she wakes up in the morning, she could take them out, and they're curly. Huh? Come in. Yeah. You can. Oh, I forgot.
Use your speaker.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me turn it off.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, it's off.
Thanks, Mom. What should I do with the can of
You can
this?
put it in the garbage.
Okay.
Um. Yes, this is live, people. Anyway, so Bantu knots has two purposes: to wear as a style just as they are, or to be taken down and the curlier the curlier it curls your hair basically. So it's made to set your hair into curls. So I have a problem with Kim Kardashian and her sister renaming corn boxer braids because that's not what they are. Not and part of me believes that they are lying about that because we also have a style called box braids. Box braids are bigger individuals. Let me give you an example. This is one of my daughters. Her name is Naomi. I don't know if you can see it, but she has individuals. She has actual braids. I braided her hair for her eighth grade graduation pictures. You can't see the actual detail, but I'm gonna try to see if I can make that happen for you. There you go. That's a little bit better. Okay, those are individuals. Okay, box braids are a little bit bigger than that. Box braids are a little bit bigger than that. So I think that the Kardashian Jenners, have actually gotten that probably mixed up and called it boxer braids because they got it mixed up and heard that they were box braids from someone, and they just renamed it. And that's pretty pitiful. And it's very, very insulting because um, when we wear cornrows back, or even if we have it in a nice, have our cornrows braided back and we have a bun, people see us. Some white people see us as ghetto. And the fact that you don't believe that that actually happens proves that you probably don't have any black friends or black female friends who are actually doing all of this stuff or having their hair in these different styles. I have a problem with um, people renaming things also. Don't put on a dashiki or um, don't put on a scarf from a sari and then just call it a scarf. Like, don't do that because you're disrespecting those who actually wear saris. Um, don't wear a turban and call it a hat. You know what I'm saying? So it is very important that we get to if we're going to have this conversation, we might as well be 100% real about it. I don't know how many people you know that actually wear braids and things of that nature, but I can tell you this much. I have been discriminated against in the workplace before because my hair was natural. I have an afro. It's very kind of it's curly and kinky or whatever. And but back in the day, it was a little bit fluffier. Maybe about 8 years ago. And while I was there, sometimes I would feel like wearing a wig. Sometimes I wouldn't. But one thing's for sure, I wasn't going to my job interview with my natural hair because I knew that some people look, when they see us, they don't see us as, when some people see black women with their natural hair, with our hair in its natural state, they don't see professional people. They see people who are dirty and unkempt. And that might not even be the clothing you have on. They look at our hair as though it is a mistake or something we woke up and we didn't do anything to, and it just looks like it looks. So, yes, I have been forced during job interviews to to wear wigs to give my hair or give myself the appearance of someone who has nicer hair and make myself look less abrasive so that they won't think bad about me. So if it wasn't a problem, why are there black women doing that? Why do we have to do that? Why do we feel like we have to? Why? If nobody sees us or sees our hairstyles as threatening or unattractive on us and they belong to us, our hair texture is the only one that's like ours. How is it that you believe that it doesn't happen, but we find ourselves in situations where we have to wear wigs to job interviews. Back in the day, I was a YouTuber for a long time. I had like 300, almost 400 videos at one point in time during my YouTube history, but I erased all of them, went through all of that, went through and everything. But I did a video called "Why Does Corporate America Hate My Locks?" Because I had dreadlocks at the time, and it was amazing how many people came into the comment section telling me that I needed to comb my hair and make it softer because I looked like a man or I looked ugly or you need to put some you need to be lighter or you're cute for a dark skinned person but comb your hair. Those are the things that I've actually heard from people in social media, and that was over 8 years ago. What makes you think anything changed? I would really like a video response, or even just a response in the comment section. You don't have to go through the rigmarole of doing a video response for me. But I just wanted to let you know, you personally, Lauren, that you don't find it disrespectful for uh, for blacks, or I'm sorry, you don't find it disrespectful for people who are not people of color or blacks to have a problem. You don't find it a problem because it's not against you. You know, I heard you say that you're Asian. I didn't grow up in Asia, but my ex-husband was a Marine, and we were stationed in Okinawa, Japan. So uh, I have friends who are Okinawan who, whenever they had celebrations and stuff, they would put on their husbands were American, but they would buy kimonos, real kimonos, expensive as hell, but they would buy kimonos, and they would um, take pictures, and it'd just be beautiful walking down the street and things of that nature. I wanted to do that too, but I didn't feel like I was the right person to carry that off, you know. And it wasn't until and I lived there for 2.5 years. It wasn't until recently that when I was living with my daughter in Seattle not too long ago, um, her college was actually having had a a Japanese day, basically Japan Day, and everybody dressed in something Japanese. One of my daughters at a fair got me a kimono, and it had a little pillow for the back and everything, and the belt to it and everything. And I felt comfortable, but once I in it, but I worried a little bit that I was probably out of place. When I got there, people thought that I honored them right by not disrespecting their dress. They complimented me on it. We had conversations. It was wonderful because it was done with the best of intentions, not to disrespect the culture. I would really hate it if a white person came up to me with let's say they came up to me with a white guy came up to me with a kufi on. That's an African hat. And then he just called it a beanie. That's not what it is. It's a kufi. You are wearing an African headdress or African headdress for a man. That is not something that you can appropriate and take over and say, "Oh, it belongs to me now. This is a beanie. It's my beanie." No, it is a kufi. I can give you pictures. I can show you on Google Images where it's actually a kufi. So you call it a kufi or don't wear it, or call it cornrows or don't wear it. Um, Man, I'm just wowed. I am 44 years old, and we are still talking about how more beautiful people who are not black are when they dress like us or get their skin tan so much that they look like us, but they're catfishing. I don't get that either. I didn't see a video where you actually did Lauren, where you actually did a commentary on the white girl who darkened her skin on purpose. She lied and said that that's how she tans naturally. Nobody tans that dark. She's probably about a couple of shades, maybe a shade lighter than I am, but she is about as pale as my ceiling. Otherwise, she got herself dressed up, darkened, dressed up, had her makeup done. The highlight, which I think was probably Fenty Beauty, because it's a really pretty highlight, a golden highlight. She did that on purpose, and she said she was tanning in months that did not coincide with summertime, like January and March. So those things really upset me. And those same people are the ones that hate dark skinned women or dark skinned men and think we are criminals because of our dark skin, because we're dark skinned. But we'll rush to a doggone um, tanning bed or get a spray tan in a second or take vitamins that change the melanin in their skin in a minute, in a New York minute, to look exactly like the people they hate. I don't get it. I don't get it. But the one thing they understand, if you have European if you have European features and you are a dark skinned person, you have like really nice long hair or whatever, which means that you're biracial. You look aesthetically more beautiful than in some people's eyes. You look aesthetically more beautiful than the people that you're trying to emulate. And that's upsetting too because we can't be any more beautiful. We can't be more beautiful than somebody who's trying to be us, and then they have all of the things that Society sees as the mainstay of what beauty is, or the meaning of what beauty is in this country. Yes, white women are said to be, and I have been told this by black men, white women are said to be the most beautiful because they're light skinned and their hair is they're lighter, their hair is nicer. You can run your fingers through their hair, and um, they are nicer people. I'm trying to figure that out. How can you be nice because of your race? That doesn't make any sense. But at any rate, aesthetically, European features are more beautiful than those from sub-Saharan Africa or West Africa or South Africa. And it's amazing. So cultural appropriation um, bothers me now, being somebody who who has to do job interviews now, and I still have to worry about whether I should wear a wig. I still have to worry about that. I am 44, looking for a job, and I still have to worry about, okay, when I go to this job interview, do I want to have a wig on, or or I will make the decision to wear a wig. Then I have to figure out what kind of wig and how straight it should be, and how can I make myself look less abrasive to them or less black to them, so that I don't come off rough. So I think that if you don't have any black friends, Lauren, if you don't have any black friends, I suggest you get some. Um, find some people, find some women, not only men, but find some women, some black women that you can actually talk to and ask them questions, because you going off of your own opinions and off of articles that are written by white people is not helping the situation out at all. It's not. It's actually making it harder for women like me who are trying to get out there and be seen without having to put on. I don't want to have to put on a wig, but I don't want to not put it on and not be chosen. That it kind of forces you to be fake, and that's not right. So that's my commentary on it. So check out those videos, guys. Um, Lauren Chen, Hands Off My Culture. It's down in the description. And Everybody Hates Angel, cultural appropriation explained. I keep saying appreciation because there's less of that today. We don't have a whole lot of cultural appreciation where you can look at someone and go, wow, I love the way you look. I love this. I love that. Even if you ask to touch their hair, that's cultural appreciation. Just don't do it without asking. you know, we don't like that. But anyway, I have another video to do, but I needed to do this before I did anything else. So everybody have a good day. If you have any questions, put it down there in the comment section. Ask me anything. If you want to, you can ask me why I sound so confused and tired. It's because I am. But I don't like doing things and I don't like having things on my mind and going to sleep on them, because I started having weird dreams and staying up. I kind of wish that I had music on, but you don't get monetized if you put music on nowadays that is not that's copywritten. So, oh, anyway, talk to you guys in the next video, which will probably be in the next 5 minutes. So you guys have a great day or a great evening or whatever time it is wherever you are. Peace.